You're listening to We Do Recover, the podcast that proves recovery is possible and connection is powerful. In today's episode, ShayLynn and Kelsey from Diamond Detox join the hosts to discuss the heartwarming story of how ShayLynn helped Kelsey get into detox 4 years ago. Today, Kelsey now works at Diamond Detox. The four of them also discuss their experiences working in the field of treatment. Let's jump into today's episode.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 181. Today I am lucky enough to have had Diamond Detox, one of our trusted resources, send down a couple lovely ladies. And we got the doc, Terry Sellers, here in studio with us.
Another lovely lady.
Today I really want to kind of focus on highlighting some of the opportunities for people in recovery and how they can possibly get started, as well as educate people on how to get a hold of Diamond Detox, let them know some cool things that are going on with that organization. So let's get started. Diamond Detox.
And you know what? If we normally have a little spiel about Diamond Detox, right? We have people from Diamond Detox here. Tell us about Diamond Detox. What's awesome about Diamond Detox?
Everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
absolutely. Yeah, no.
Really?
Let's
Tell
hear
me-
it. Let's
tell
hear
me-
it, Kelsey. What's so great about
Yeah,
Diamond Detox?
tell me what you guys really are proud of at Diamond Detox.
What sets us aside is we really take pride in treating everybody that comes through the doors with compassion and kindness and care. Also, what's lovely about our facility is it's a little bit different than your medical facility. It's a home setting. So basically, clients have communal space. They also have their own space so they can kind of go at their own pace. And then, just get that kind of comfort at home while getting their medical detox.
These are people that are not used to being treated with dignity, right?
Correct.
They on the outside, they get treated like the dregs of society.
Right.
And so it's just warm and comfortable to come to a place that will treat you like an actual human being rather than a person, like a disease. Oh, there's the
Yes.
heroin addict. There's the, no. That's not the heroin addict. That's
Yeah.
Johnny and
Yes.
Richard and Jane and yeah.
Yeah, I think from that initial phone call, we love our patients. We care about them. We want to show them that love and that they're cared for. Even if we don't know them, it doesn't matter. We can show them that love through the phone, that they matter and that they're important. And so I think that's what Diamond Detox is all about is that compassion and that love. And then also, the follow through, the discharge. We want those clients to be able to have aftercare because we want them to be successful. We want them to have, that success in their recovery journey.
Well, I
So,
think that's an incredibly important point too, because too many people come into detox. In detox, they start feeling better, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got this.
yep. Well, because they had a shower and a sandwich,
Right,
right?
Right.
Like they're
they,
good.
They
They're
ate,
good.
they slept,
Yep.
they weren't sleeping under a bridge or they weren't
Right.
couch hopping or whatever it is that people do. And they start to feel better and all of a sudden they're cured. Well,
Yep.
one of the things we know is that detox really doesn't increase people's chances of staying clean and sober. Detox gets you from using to not using in a safe and hopefully comfortable manner.
Yep.
But it doesn't really increase your chances of staying clean and sober long term. That's what treatment does.
Yeah, you're just you're dipping your toe in the water, basically.
And so many people that they come to detox and I'm done. No, man, if that was enough, then everyone that does detox would say, yeah, you're done. But that's not how it works, right?
Right.
People need to work on the getting skills and the things and coping mechanisms and the things that can keep them clean and sober.
Yep.
Whereas the job of detox is medical safety, comfort. Too many people won't come to treatment because they're afraid of how uncomfortable they will be in the detox portion.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And then
Said,
there's people, I'll tell you what I think I've noticed here is you get that feeling of a love and compassion for patients if you've been where they are.
That's exactly what it is, right? Like when I went into treatment, I went through every therapist there possibly was, every single therapist, because I was like, you don't get it. You don't understand. You're reading out of a book, which obviously now I understand that there's people, that have family members or kids that go through it and they do understand it to a point, which is beautiful. But in my head 9 years ago, that wasn't the case. So I ended up having one of their tech staff come to me and tell me, Shay, I love you and I care for you. And I was like, what? You don't love me. You don't care about me. You don't even know me.
You don't know me, right?
Right. And that hit home for me. That was a really big part of my recovery, is that this random person could show me love and compassion when I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't care about myself. I didn't think that I could do it. And this random person did that for me and taught me that it's okay to love myself again. And so what I do is that's how I show up every single day when I'm talking to a patient. I do love them and I care for them. And I want them to know that. And I think they feel that even over the phone. And that's what's so important to me in working in this field, is because I want those patients to know that.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been working at Diamond Detox?
I've been working there for 5 years.
Wow. What
I've
about
been
you,
there
Kelsey?
for almost 3.5 years.
Okay. Awesome. For our listeners, how do they get a hold of Diamond Detox?
You can give them a call at 385-988-5332. That's 385-988-5332. Or if you're interested in just kind of getting some more information,
I got a question for you before you move on with that, though.
check out their website. That's
Oh.
going to be diamonddetox.com.
He hates it when I interrupt.
Diamonddetox.com. Yeah, what's your question?
How come you know that number, but there are people that work there don't? That's my question.
I have a cheat sheet.
I'm kidding.
I can tell you all the house numbers.
I can give you my personal number because the whole world has it, but
There you go.
it's fine. We won't put it on air. It's fine.
I'm lucky enough to have a little cheat sheet here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So,
What's another sponsor?
yeah, Renaissance Ranch. Renaissance
Oh.
Ranch is an all-male facility, although I'm pretty sure I've heard some rumors that they're starting a women's-only center in Logan, Utah. They do gender specific. That's the type of care. I think it's one of the best ways to provide care, is just have everybody a little bit more focused and a little bit more present. The thing I really love about the ranch is they have the full continuum of care. So after you get done detoxing at a place like Diamond Detox, they have residential, day treatment, intensive outpatient, sober living, alumni aftercare. Just like all of us sitting at this table, they're big on hiring. It's like addicts helping addicts.
Sure.
Those of us that have been through addiction and are lucky enough to make it out, coming back to help other people. So definitely check out Renaissance Ranch. You can give them a call at 801-308-8898. That's 801-308-8898. Or you can check out their website at renaissanceranch.com.
Beautiful.
Yeah, buddy.
Are we sponsored by Rise Up Subs?
Yeah.
You want to tell our listeners about Rise Up Subs?
Absolutely. So Rise Up Supplements is a nootropic supplement line. Basically, they have two formulas. Mind Shift helps get the mind going. It helps speed up the neurotransmitters of the brain. It's going to help with focus. It's going to help with motivation.
That's what I got going right now.
I'm going to need that.
Yeah, please.
I got
Good one.
I got some on board.
I'll give
right
you
now.
guys both a bottle before you head home.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then Mindful Mood is the one that's like the gas pedal, right? It's the one that's going to slow down those neurotransmitters. A lot of people are like, "Oh, is it good for sleep?" It's not going to like make you feel tired, so it's not necessarily a sleep aid.
I
but
think
it-
you said gas pedal. I think you meant brakes.
So Mind Shift is the gas pedal. Thank you, Doc, for keeping me straight.
That's okay.
Mindful Mood is the
more of
brakes. Yeah, it's going to slow down those neurotransmitters of the brain.
Doesn't make people tired or sleepy, but
Right. It's not going to make you sleepy. No, I actually think that it makes me feel energized.
More
To be
alert.
totally honest, I take the Mindful Mood every single day. I take Mind Shift like before I need to do a lot of clinical documentation because it really helps me zone in and focus.
Yeah,
So,
what? That sounds
check
like I
out-
need that.
I got you.
ADHD kicks in hardcore with me.
Check out riseupsups.com. That's RISEUPS.com. At checkout, punch in promo code, all caps, podcast20 to
to save yourself 20%.
off your entire purchase. Thanks, Doc. Let's kick
Well,
it off with some new and goods. Should we go?
Let me start with you.
Okay.
What's new and good in the world of Jared Miller?
Dude, I just turned 40.
Congratulations.
The big 40. Thank
40.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
that's-
New and good for me. I just turned 40. The big 40 on the 21st.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. 40 years old, baby.
Man.
40 years old.
You're probably one of those old guys that has to stretch before golf, huh?
See what he did there?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, about the only thing I've noticed is you put a lot of mileage on this body. I played 4 years of college football and being 6'0" white boy from Utah. Like I I got beat up a lot, to be completely frank.
Sure.
I was an undersized linebacker, so I put a lot of mileage on this body. So yeah, like the thing I've noticed about turning 40 really is, number one, I felt like in my 20s and 30s, I had to prove myself, and I'm way more comfortable just being me in my 40s. And I've noticed my body's starting to break down a little bit. So yeah, I stretch before playing golf. Tomorrow when we go play, I'll for sure have to stretch.
Then you'll probably kick my butt, so it's fine. I can't tease you if you win, so
Yeah, man.
I can do whatever I want. What'd you do for your birthday?
Went to Sedona, Arizona.
Whoa.
The wife planned it, little golf trip. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, it was cool. It was amazing. I honestly had a great. The only problem is that I had to leave.
First time
You know
you've
what I
been to Sedona ever?
Yeah, first time ever.
I hear it's magical, but never been.
Sedona's beautiful. I've been
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I hear there's a lot of magic in Sedona.
they say there's some vortexes and
Yeah.
stuff. It was cool. Last thing, and then we're gonna move on. Like, I captured a moment and I put it out on Facebook where literally we're sitting on a patio having dinner, and the backdrop is just gorgeous. You got the mountains, the sunset skyline, my beautiful wife sitting across from me, and yeah, I in that moment was like, how did I get here? You know, just a lot of
Yeah.
like, it just captures a very beautiful thing that I have today in my life. Yeah.
I will ask a question then.
Shoot.
I know we've been to this topic already in a previous recording. I might bring that up a few more times. Remember a single sunset from when you were using?
Not a single one.
No, you don't, do you?
Nope.
These are the blessings.
I didn't even have the awareness to look for stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Right. Those things weren't as beautiful. That's
Yeah.
the thing. They were there for sure, right? The sunsets were exactly the same.
Oh yeah.
I have pictures. I knew I
Yeah.
saw them,
We
but
knew
do I
they-
remember them?
We
No.
knew they were out there. We
Yeah.
just didn't really partake in them
Yes.
very much. Yeah.
For sure.
We were asleep or whatever
Passed
we
out.
were at the point. Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to our first guest today. Introduce yourself. First of all, who are you?
So I'm ShayLynn.
What's new and good?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, my days are just crazy all the time. I have 4 kids. I love them dearly to my heart. They're all just like me. So they're all, little, I don't know if I could say shit on here, but
You didn't. We didn't hear that at all.
You can say shit. They're all a bunch of little shits.
yeah, they are,
I met your kids, and they're not that at
They're
all.
cute. They're super cute.
They are so cute. And I
But
love
they may
them.
be related to you,
They are so my children.
which means
Um,
they probably have a bit of the ADHD.
Oh my gosh, every single one of them. God bless me with that for sure. I think he knew I could do hard things. I think about that every single day of my life. I'm like, wow, thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, just new things that are happening is just every single day there's something new that I'm working towards, trying to change, helping, doing whatever I'm doing, whether that's my kids, whether that's work, whether that's me trying to, work on my recovery still, even after 9 years. So that's me.
Beautiful.
I want to point out another thing that recovery brings, and that is that daily ability to do some self-reflection and look at ourselves, which we obviously never did when we were using. We
Yeah.
don't look at ourselves at all. And I think recovery affords us that chance of every day. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I do it every day, right? But I do it some days, is to just look back on your day and say, what could I have done differently that would have been better,
Yep.
or
Yep.
that sort of thing. And that's what recovery brings us, is that sort of ability to self-correct every single day if we want to.
Yeah.
When
No.
we're using,
is-
we run away from ourselves as fast as we possibly can.
Right. Or we're
Yeah.
just numb and we don't see a need for improvement.
Correct.
And we don't have any ability to do it even if we could see it.
Right.
Well, I
because
mean,
we're
we
numb.
we don't love ourselves, right? Like
Absolutely.
it's the biggest thing is that we don't love ourselves. So, I mean, we're not paying attention to anything, looking at anything. We're not present. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
thanks.
First time ever on a podcast?
Yeah, I'm so nervous, but it's gonna be totally great.
We're just goofballs talking about recovery.
I
That's all we are.
actually really love it. I'm really not that nervous. My palms are super sweaty, but it's fine. I love this room. I love the people that I'm here with. So
You're doing great.
That's the greatest.
And we're glad you're here. Thanks
Thanks.
for coming down. Where do you live?
I live
Roy?
in Layton,
Layton.
so pretty close
Okay.
to the facility, which
All
is
right.
nice.
You're from Utah originally?
Mm-hmm.
That's because I knew that because Layton doesn't have a T in it, apparently.
Layton.
Yeah.
Layton.
I'm going to move on now. Sorry.
Thanks for that.
Jared?
Kelsey,
That's-
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Share a little bit about yourself and then what's new and good in your life.
Let's see. 3.5, almost 4 years sober. Yeah. Work at Diamond Detox. I've worked my way into the ops manager role. Yeah.
Awesome.
What's new and good in your life?
You have tell us family stuff.
She has a dog.
I have a
There's
dog.
What's your dog's name?
Dakota. She's an amazing, beautiful, loving German Shepherd.
German
She
Shepherd, love
is
them.
a hairy little beast, but I love her.
You got a lot of vacuuming to do.
Oh, constant. You know how many times I had to lint roll this sweater before I came here? Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Doc, what's new and good in your life?
Oh, nothing.
Can I just point something out? I've known you since 2019. Is this true or false?
This is at least close to true.
Okay.
There's some truth there. I know that.
For those of you who are just listening to this,
Oh, here we go.
this man is wearing the most neutral outfit that I've ever seen in my whole life. If you know Dr. Terry Sellers, he's infamous with his outfits. They're loud, they're bright, they're all golf mostly. And today he has on, is that like a vest, Shay?
That's a,
Tell me
Yeah,
out.
that's
a sweater vest. Yeah.
That's for sure a sweater vest.
Okay,
So he's still like, stylish.
Right, yeah,
You
it
know?
looks
Nice of you to
classy.
say.
It looks
Thank you.
professional.
Yeah.
It's black with a button up.
yeah.
And
Sure, a
then
little cardigan.
again, Shay, continue to help me out with this
but-
long
but-
sleeve.
Yep,
Mhm.
and long sleeve, and then we got some
Collar.
black socks,
So cute.
black
too.
and white socks,
Black and white socks.
With
Black,
flowers
black
on them.
shoes, black jeans.
Yeah, see,
You
but
look
normally,
like a professional doctor.
Oh,
Yes,
very
well, don't let
monochrome.
that word get out. I don't want anybody to know that.
but normally it's the neon, it's the flamingos, it's all the things.
So there is a story a little bit there, and that is, I do have seasonal affective disorder, usually pretty bad.
Okay.
Last year was a lot better because I made it down to St. George a bunch, and that helps. I haven't been down to St. George nearly as much this winter. And by about February, I'm starting to get kind of depressed. And here we are right at the end of February, basically.
Mm.
And when I'm depressed or when it's gray, I dress like I'm depressed or it's gray. When I play golf, I dress much more loudly. And I haven't played golf since I last played with you, which was at least 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So mostly as January and February roll around, I tend to go grays and blacks and browns and that sort of stuff.
Well, tomorrow
I'm
got
playing golf
18
tomorrow.
scheduled, and
Yes.
it's going to be 77 degrees.
I have an outfit.
and you're
Mhm.
Don't
that'll
worry.
help pull you out of that seasonal.
I have a pair of salmon colored pants.
Cute.
I have I have a shirt that is kind of got little birds on it that are light blue, dark blue, and salmon colored.
Very
The
nice.
shirt itself is, the base is white. And then I have a salmon colored hat that you actually gave me. I actually stole from you after you won it in a tournament.
I
Nice.
can't wait to see you. Yeah.
I do have a lot of fun with the
Yeah.
outfits, no question. I have a humongous closet.
Did you want to do any new and good?
I'm basically semi-retired, and all of a sudden, I just signed 5 new deals with different places to work in 2026, and I'm going to be incredibly busy in 2026. But I'm also going to make a whole bunch of cash that will allow me to retire at some point in my life. So-
Money, money, money,
Beautiful.
money.
Yeah, I
that'd be
mean,
so
it's-
cool.
I clearly nobody does this for the money, right? Because you can make a lot more money doing other stuff,
Sure.
no question. But I'm going to be busy enough that I'm going to get paid fairly well, and so in a way, I'm looking forward to it because I do need to retire at some point. I'm 66, like I should be retired at this point, but I had a brief interruption in my career caused by drugs that really set me back quite a bit financially. And so I'm not ready to retire financially yet, but I think this next year is going to be really nice for me. I've been working on a study to get FDA approval for a device that sends electrical stimulation into the brain that helps with opiate withdrawals for patients coming in for detox from opiates. It lessens the withdrawal symptoms and may shorten the length of detox for those patients. I don't think that'll actually be the case, but what I do think it'll do is it will decrease the amount of medications those patients need to use for detox. Patients coming in for opiate detox will use Suboxone or Subutex or buprenorphine, some sort, to help them with detox, and it may decrease the amount of that medication that they need to use.
I'm really glad that there are really smart people that work in this field like you.
No, not me.
Because going through, to be honest, and I don't know, like I think what keeps a lot of people in active addiction
Oh, no.
is the fear of going through withdrawal.
Particularly
Absolutely.
the patients that have opiates as their drug of choice.
Yeah,
It
scares.
scares people to death
Absolutely.
that they have to go through that withdrawal. And if we can do whatever we can do to lessen that fear and the discomfort, will help people get treatment.
For sure. I agree with
I
that.
feel like this is a good segue to bring up. We got a couple of the gals from Diamond Detox. We usually will have a guest come on and they'll share like their entire story, like before addiction, active addiction, treatment, life after. Today, I really want to take the opportunity to focus on, we all work in this field of recovery,
Yes.
you know, and a big part is that fear. You know, it keeps a lot of people are scared of going through detox and scared of the physical piece that they're going to go through. I happen to have some insider information here that Kelsey, 3.5, 4 years ago, may or may not have
Gone to
contacted
detox?
Shay,
What?
Yep.
well, or family.
Yep.
So let's get these girls chatting.
figure it out.
Kelsey, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was out running and gunning out in California. I think we mentioned before, like, you know, when that time is, it is. We don't really pick it. It just kind of happens. And I went through with it. So I reached out to the family and I asked for help. And they had already lived out here in Utah for a little while. They had an in to basically, somebody said either Turning Point or Brighton. Those are the best places you can go. I actually ended up going to Brighton, but first Brighton recommended Diamond Detox. And so my family got in touch with ShayLynn. And then I eventually got in touch with ShayLynn. And yeah, it took should be a short, it's like a 12-hour drive, 12-hour drive. Took us 2 days to get out here because of me. And yeah, we finally got out here.
Wait,
And
what does that mean? Were you driving and you just drive really slow?
no, I wasn't driving.
it.
I was in the back seat.
Throwing up?
And I swear to you, I thought I was on my best behavior. I was like, you know what? They drove all the way out here. I have to be grateful. I need to be on my best behavior.
I remember that conversation.
If you ask my mother, she would have told you that I look like a rabid dog in the back seat.
Whoa.
Well, it checks out.
Yeah.
You're towards the end of your
Dog.
active use.
Yeah.
right?
So, I mean, I need to pull over. I need to pull over this, that. It's going to take me 2 hours in the store to go find one item kind of a thing. And they're very, very, very patient. And I'm very blessed for that. Absolutely. So yeah, the travel took a long time. And then for me, being in the car for those 2 days, I wasn't really able to do what I really wanted to do and basically experience my high that I wanted to experience. So we finally got into Kaysville. And basically when we pulled up to the detox, I bolted. I wanted to go have my last hurrah. My family didn't know that was the reason. And so eventually,
Wait, I want to stop right there.
yeah.
I didn't explore this before, but I want to now.
Okay.
You had drugs on you,
Yes.
and your family did not know that.
I think they were privy to it. I mean, it wasn't discussed. It wasn't disclosed. But I think they were aware, knowing the fact that if I didn't, I would get really sick.
Okay.
And it was,
Makes some sense.
yeah. And it
And
was,
you're probably the only person that's ever used right before coming in. No one
Yeah.
else has ever done that.
No
before.
one. No one in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
I will say,
everyone is scared to come in, and almost everyone has a bit of a last hurrah. Yours was
yeah.
bolting and then
Yeah. And my parents at that point, honestly, like, I think that was a big thing that opened up the door for recovery for me was basically my parents had said to me, you know, I'd lived with all this guilt and shame that I've just, you know, I thought I failed them. And they reached out to me at one point and they said, Kelsey, there's nothing that you can do at this point to shock us anymore.
Mm.
We love you unconditionally and we'll be here when you want help. So it was huge for me. It was a really, really big moment. And yeah, so I think at that point, them knowing that I probably had drugs on me, it was whatever we have to do to get her into detox.
Yeah, whatever to get her to agree to go on this trip
Yes.
for a solution.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, even at that point, we pull up to the detox and I just needed to go do my last hurrah. I needed to go get my last fix. I needed to say goodbye to the thing that had brought me comfort for so long.
So did you use the whole trip, or did you actually stay without using the trip and then got here and bolted?
No, it was more of like, okay, we're going to take a bathroom break. Let's see how much I can get in the 2 minutes I can be in the bathroom.
That's what I'm asking. Is
I'm sure the goal
did
is
some
to
of your
stay
breaks
well.
include
Yeah.
bathroom breaks that
Yeah.
That's why it took 2 days.
Right.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that story from your perspective. I
Mhm.
want to get that story from Shay's perspective.
Yeah.
So Shay, at the time you're working for Diamond Detox as a admissions.
Yeah, so I was just an admissions coordinator at
don't
that
say
point.
just an admissions coordinator. That's a big deal.
Well, it was a big deal for me,
It's a
that
big
many
deal.
years ago. That was a big deal. So I was an admissions coordinator, answered the phones, I loved what I did, and I still love it, right? Like, I love my job, and there's certain people that I get on the phone with and I show them that love. And I'm like, God, you little shit. And that was Kelsey. And I'm like, get into detox. And so, it took 2 days. She bounced, and I didn't make her come in, right? Like, I was just there for her. I waited until she was ready, because I believe that if I push someone to come into detox, they're just going to leave, right? I want them to be ready, and I want to meet them where they're at.
I want to just touch on that. I think that was such an important part when you were communicating with me, because basically you're like, okay, that's fine. Like, we'll see you when you get here, kind of a thing. And
Right.
I think that without having that pressure and that expectation, I think really that's what allowed me to be comfortable with the process, and even to reach out to you, like when I bolted, and just be honest with you. I hadn't been honest with somebody in a really long time.
Right. And it was midnight. I got kids, right? I'm like, this girl, like, I'm not answering this phone. Why would I do that? Totally did, because I cared for her and I loved her, and I needed to show her that, because that's important to me, like I've said. So I did. We got her into detox, and I've seen her blossom. It's beautiful.
I want to explore this just a touch, though.
Yeah.
The last hurrah thing, right? People coming in carry a bunch of shame and guilt with them already.
Right.
Yes.
They get there and they're scared to death.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them use in the parking lot.
Yep.
Or they bolt and do what you did, some sort of form of, I got to have one last fix. Now, I want to point out to everyone out there that that's dangerous. People on occasion have overdosed and died right
Mhm.
before it's
Yeah.
time to come into treatment.
Absolutely.
I have a daughter that did that exact thing, like the day before treatment, overdosed and wound up dying. But the thing is, they're coming in with all this shame and guilt. And the worst thing you could have done was say, I can't believe you did this.
Right.
Right? Worst thing you could have done was say, I can't believe you did that, because then that would trigger her shame and guilt again. Now she's less likely.
And then what are we going to do as an addict? We're going to go and use again,
Right.
because we don't want to
'Cause we
feel
have
those
more
feelings.
shame and guilt.
Right.
Mhm.
We don't want to feel those feelings. So I wanted to meet her where she's at.
I think that's the best reaction you could have possibly had.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, I'm going to use a little analogy. Active addiction, I feel like we're in the subways of life. If anybody's been to like New York or somewhere where there's an underground subway, like, active addiction to me, in my little analogy, is you're living in the subways of life. There's not great air, it's dimly lit. Like, you're just kind of surviving. You're not really living, and nobody can pull you out of that. You have to climb the staircase. They can let you know, like, hey,
There's a light
There's-
over here.
yeah, there's light over here. There's a way out of this subway, but nobody can.
Yep.
There's something that happens. It's magical. You have to be the one to climb the steps.
You
or
have to
take the
make
stairs.
that step. You have to make
Absolutely.
that decision. And I'm like a firm believer. I tried to do it for my kids, tried to do it for my family.
Yep.
Oh,
And it
so many
didn't
times.
work. And my
Right.
kids mean the world to me. But if I can't love myself, I
Right.
can't do anything.
Excellent point.
Absolutely.
How many steps are there, Jared?
12 steps, baby. 12 steps.
I will
I'm-
say, like you
I'm
said,
sorry,
though,
but I
it's-
think you're right. No one can do that for you.
yeah, and we were existing, and now we're finally be able to live.
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. So, just to be kind of clear, that is a beautiful story.
That is a great story.
It is a beautiful story.
Yes,
3.5,
Love me
4
some
years
Shay.
ago, you went through Diamond Detox.
yes,
And then I assume you went to a treatment provider.
yes. I went to Brighton.
Okay. And earlier you said that there's like one of two and they're the best. And I just want to point out that that's subjective.
Correct. Yes.
Right?
That was just,
But it's your experience. And so that's okay.
yes, it
No,
was
but-
what my family was told. And luckily it all worked out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we all feel that way. The treatment center we went to was the best.
For sure.
For
Right?
sure.
I don't feel that way.
100%.
Well, anybody that goes to treatment and gets clean and sober, that's a great treatment
Yeah.
center for them.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
it's where we changed. It's where
Blossomed.
we
Right. And to be
Treatment
honest,
center I went to was terrible.
no, it wasn't. You were terrible. The treatment center was fine.
yeah.
Okay. That's
It's-
a topic for another
Well,
podcast. But
You
I've
know,
been
so
to
I
some
was
doozies.
I was court ordered.
Okay,
I
there's
was
an
court
issue.
ordered, right?
There's
They
an
came and
issue.
picked us up from the jail.
Big difference.
It was a
Yeah.
whole lot of just external motivation. But this whole totally derailed where I was
I
wanting to
didn't,
go.
I didn't mean to derail. I
You're
want
okay.
to point this out, though. A good friend of our podcast, a person Shay knows quite well, frankly, my dear friend Mark Pepper,
Yeah.
has a saying, and I don't know that he made it up. He might have gotten it from someone else. You can get clean and sober in a dumpster.
For sure.
It has
Absolutely.
nothing to do with the treatment center and everything to do with the attitude of the person that's trying to get clean and sober.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I know
So they can
people
all be, every treatment center can be fantastic and every treatment center can be crappy, depending on, frankly, the mindset
If
and
you're
the
ready.
attitude of the person that wants.
to that point, I know people that didn't even go to a treatment center. They just went to
Absolutely.
Alcoholics or Narcotics Anonymous.
Absolutely.
The team at Diamond Detox is compassionate, helpful, and trained to support every step of the healing journey. Your loved one's path to a healthier, happier life starts with a free and easy 20 to 30-minute assessment over the phone or a few questions submitted online on the Diamond Detox website. Assessments and admissions occur 7 days a week, depending on availability. To begin the path to recovery, visit diamonddetox.com or call 385-988-5332.
Okay. So 3.5, 4 years later, you work for Diamond Detox now. That's a really
Yeah.
cool story.
I actually was super blessed. I got taken on pretty early on. So
So what do you do now for Diamond Detox?
I am the operations manager.
Okay. So tell me, what does that entail? What do you do? How did you get into that role?
So actually, with the experience I had at Diamond Detox, for some reason when I was there, I was like, wow, this would be a really cool place to work. And when I got sober, I saw a listing in the paper, or not paper, that's making myself sound really old, online.
You probably have to stretch before you play golf.
Right, I
Probably.
do.
We'll keep that between us.
But yeah, reached out and I actually applied for the tech position. I started out as a tech, worked my way into lead tech, and then office manager. And now I'm, the operations manager. And basically what I do is I oversee the techs and the building. So I'm responsible to make sure that all the ins and outs are nice and welcoming for the clients. And the overall experience is just really enjoyable.
So you're like boots on the ground.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Listen how cool that is.
That is.
3.5 years ago, she ran from the detox.
Right.
Yes.
With me.
She
or
ran
not
into
with
the
me.
forest or wherever she
Yeah.
ran to
Yeah.
from the detox, and now she's the operations manager.
And
I
I've got
was-
to see her grow. It's beautiful.
The blessings
So-
of recovery.
So
Yeah.
let's go
Gratitude.
there. So Shay, what do you do now for Diamond Detox? How long have you been with Diamond Detox?
So I've been with them for 5 years. I am now the marketing and admissions manager. So I get to do a lot of the marketing. It's super fun. I get to build all these relationships out there in the community. I get to just be myself, right? Like for a really long time, I just want to say this because it's important to me. But for a really long time, I didn't think I would fit in anywhere. Like I didn't think that I didn't think I could work anywhere or do anything or be good at anything. And then me being an addict has like changed my whole life. I'm freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I love working with people and I love being able to go to a meeting and be myself and be this quirky, fun, weird person, because that's who I am and I don't have to change who I am to do my job.
Right.
And I think that is the coolest dang thing in this whole world.
There's another blessing of recovery.
Yeah.
You were always awesome,
Thanks.
but now you can see it.
Yeah, now I can
Now
see it.
now you understand
Yeah.
that even though you may be a little quirky in some things or different than other people, that's not unawesome.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a strength of yours.
It is a strength. And
Yeah.
a lot of people tell me that. And I think
Yeah.
that's so cool. And now I can actually believe it and be okay with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool.
I think one of the best things about working there, though, right, is that, you can relate and you can understand what people are going through, and to have like that extra level of understanding and compassion. You just want to be there for those people and let them know that they can get through hard things, that they're stronger and braver and more resilient than they think they are.
Well, and I think that's a critical point. Patients come into detox and they're afraid no one gets them at all.
Right.
Nobody understands their problems because they're terminally unique. No one else has ever been as bad a drug addict as they are. And when they're met on the phone by somebody who says, yeah, I've done that, been
Right.
there, I understand that. Not somebody on the phone who says, yeah, I learned about it in a book. Not
Well,
somebody on the phone that says, yeah, the job trained me about this, but can say, yeah, I hear you and I feel you and I've
And I'm here
know
for
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And when you're ready, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Right. Even if it is at 1 o'clock in the morning. But right now, that's not ever going to happen again, probably. I have a bedtime now. But
It makes me think about a lot of individuals that get sober, have some recovery time. A lot of them end up working in this field, and I want to kind of explore that and talk about that a little bit. But I do think, and this isn't 100%, I think somebody who's been through it and has that life experience, it's invaluable, because getting somebody into detox is tough enough. Keeping somebody in detox is a whole nother thing. Having them transition to an inpatient treatment center is another thing, right?
Yep.
Having them continue services. It's like the longer that we can help them stay with some accountability, some structure, people that are going to love on them until they can learn to love themselves, is a phrase that I've heard, is, that's an amazing thing. That gives that person that much more likely of a chance to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a point that we can go down that road a little bit, but there's not that many. So I work in the treatment industry. You guys all know that. And, when I'm talking to a patient, I'm 66 years old. I'm not talking to 66-year-olds very often. Now I do sometimes, but there's automatically a barrier there. A 20-year-old coming in for treatment, talking to a 66-year-old dude who knows nothing about. And when they hear I shot morphine for a decade, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, maybe the guy does know something and rather than he learned it from a book, right? I didn't study this in school. They didn't teach us much about addiction in medical school, to be honest with you.
Sure.
And I did learn some stuff from a book. There's no question. I have to have the knowledge to properly treat people. But as soon as I can look a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old in the eye and say, yeah, I know. Yeah, I shot morphine for a decade and it was a very unpretty decade for me.
Right. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the 19-year-old doesn't look at me as a 66-year-old anymore.
Right.
Looks at me as yep, I'm older than that guy, but guess what? He did what I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's the drug of choice is not critical. Just the actual experience of, yep, I've done the hiding. I've done the shame, the guilt thing. I've done the making sure my family doesn't find out and, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's critical when we look at people that are particularly in the admission side of things, when it's just not some dude that's using it as a job, it's somebody that came from where they came from.
For me,
It's just warm and open for them.
yeah. And for me to know that somebody had walked the path that I've walked and is successful in life right now, that was mind blowing to me. Like, I had no idea that life could be so good.
Right.
I thought it was over for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when you're down in the subway long enough, you don't even realize there's stairs sometimes if you've been
Right.
living down there.
Totally.
Like, guess what? Somebody shows you the stairs and it's like, what? There's a way out of this?
Yeah.
No, I see myself doing this for the rest of my life.
Totally. Yeah, no, I agree. Oftentimes people, I feel like when they get sober, they get clean, whatever, a lot of them feel probably like what you described, like I don't fit in anywhere. I remember kind of feeling that, like I go and I get this job working around a bunch of normies and maybe I'm having a bad day. Maybe I'm craving, like, I can't really chat with them about that. Right. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what it is, right? Like, I went into treatment. I went to Aqua. It was so great. I loved it. I finally was just ready. I called my mom after 3 years and I was like, I need help. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm tired and I'm hungry and like, I'm just done. And she picked me up. She didn't know if I was alive. That was a crazy phone call for her. She took me to treatment. I went to Aqua. I surrendered myself is what I did. And I walked through those doors and my instant my instant thing that I wanted was I walked into the med room and I see Dr. Sellers. And my first thought was, I'm going to tell him I need Suboxone,
I heard you were his favorite client.
I was pretty
No, that's clearly true.
I was pretty amazing, but that's what I wanted, right? Like I was
Drug seeking, yeah.
I was drug seeking is what I was doing. And I was playing the game, I was ready, but I wasn't ready.
Yep.
And
not that uncommon that patients come in and tell me what they need for treatment.
Right. And that's what I did with him.
Right.
And he put me in my place and that's what I needed.
Oh,
I was pregnant with my daughter.
grumpy old man.
Yeah. I was pregnant with my daughter and obviously I was using and that was hard. And you said a few things to me and it really opened my eyes and I was like, wow, I need this and I needed that tough love. And I think some people do need tough love and I needed tough love. I didn't need someone to be sweet to me. I need someone to put me in my place. And there you were. So I did it. I did the withdrawals. I went through it and I came out and I ended up relapsing one time and did some gel time. And then I got out and while I was in gel, I had an epiphany that I totally deserved better.
Mm.
Long story short, it was crazy. It was that epiphany that saved my life.
Yeah.
But treatment taught me coping mechanisms. It taught me the ripple effect. The ripple effect is what I use every day in my life. It's like if I don't wake up on time and I don't get my kids to school, that's the start of a bad day. And I need to pay attention to that because that's important to me. And then after a year of getting sober, I was like, when I went into Aqua, I met these amazing people that just welcomed me with big arms and they told me they loved me and wanted me. And I was like, what? And when I left and I finally got a clear head, I was like, wow, like I want to be you one day.
Yeah.
So I called one of the staff members and I was like, I want to work for you, at Aqua. And he was like, okay, Shay, you can totally, get a year sober. And I was like, done. So I got a year sober. I went and I worked at Aqua and I was a tech there. I started out, worked there for a year and, I transitioned to a few other places and then I landed at Diamond Detox and I've been there for 5 years and I found my family and they make me really happy and they support me and love me and it's a beautiful thing.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
tell us kind of your, professional
Transition
journey.
into the profession.
So how I got into the position I'm in, basically went through detox and I had that moment of like that thought to myself because there had been somebody there that had shared with me that they were also in recovery. And then, I had that moment to myself of where this would be really cool to work here. Like I could see myself doing this. I would like to be able to do this.
She just wanted to do what I did. Come on. Just kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Like ShayLynn is amazing. There was another nurse there. I'm not going to drop names, but she went out of her way to tell me her story too. And she was like, I've gone through what you've gone through and like we can be on the other side of this. Super important to me. So yeah. And I will say that drugs really messed up my teeth, like really, really, really bad. And I tried to work somewhere, just like first job in recovery. And I just felt like everybody was judging me and like looking at me. And I felt so uncomfortable in my skin. So when the job position opened up at Diamond Detox, I applied and I got really fortunate and super blessed that I was given the position there. And fortunately now I've been able to get my teeth fixed, but
You have beautiful teeth, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's worked out good.
Yes, absolutely. Better than before, for sure.
There you go.
But yeah, there was a comfort in that. I was amongst people where I didn't feel judged. I felt welcome from the very beginning. And yeah, that was kind of my path into the treatment recovery life. And I've got there and I loved it. I loved being able to be there for other people. I loved, instilling hope in people that was instilled in me in the very beginning.
Yeah, beautiful. Well said. I feel like we've both kind of shared our stories of getting into the field. I owe you a big thanks because you helped me get into this field and it's been years since. working in a field with people who are struggling, people who are very needy,
Mm-hmm.
requires the B word, boundaries.
Big time.
There.
Talk to me about, like, was there a aha moment, or was there a moment when you were actually working in recovery that you had to kind of start to learn how to set boundaries, and what did that look like? And did you get yourself maybe in trouble or in some hot water? I remember when I first started working in treatment, the house manager, because I also started off as a tech, she came to me and she said, there's 2 things you can't do. Don't sleep with the client, and don't bring drugs into the facility. And don't start fights, right? But everything else is going to be a learning curve. Are there any moments where you guys were like, yeah, boundaries were tested, had to figure that out?
Yeah, totally. What? All the time. I think a big boundary of mine is that I care about the patient so much that can be difficult. So I can love them and care for them, and be there for them, but I can't stay up all night because I love that patient, right? Like, I have to put a boundary in place because I have kids and I have a life,
Yes.
and I have to focus on my recovery, because if I don't have boundaries, I'm going to fall.
No question.
You learned
Right.
that after Kelsey?
Probably.
She had you up till 12 at night?
Yeah, and so that's my boundary, and it's hard, and it's taken a lot where I'm just like, dang, it's really, really late. This patient really needs me, but also I have to be there for myself. I think there's a part of selflessness that you have to have in recovery.
You have to be able to compartmentalize things enough that someone else's mistakes,
Yep.
someone else, a patient that you care for deeply relapses,
Mm-hmm.
that can't ruin your day.
Exactly.
Because your days will be ruined quite a bit because lots of people relapse. And that's a tough boundary for people sometimes, because we do care so much about these patients. We see ourselves in them sometimes. And when someone relapses, man, if that's going to ruin your day, you won't be working in the field for very long. It's not going to make your day.
No.
You should always be a little sad when someone relapses, for sure.
Right.
But if it's going to affect you for a week, you're going to be out of the field in no time.
For sure. 100%. Because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Kelsey?
Yeah, I mean, what you guys were saying is those emotional boundaries, right? You can be their biggest cheerleader. You can be there for them, to talk to them, get them through things. But ultimately, you really have to take care of yourself in this industry as well. And then I would say, with boundaries, I think what's the most important is the way we relay the boundaries to the client, especially for us being on site. Now, there's a lot of rules to follow. There's stuff like that. And I think the delivery of the way you're setting the boundary is so important. These people are broken, and to deliver it with like care and compassion, and just trying to find that same level as them to really get through to them. Just basically, it's for their safety, for the facility's safety, and for our safety. But there's just a magic twist of doing that, and it really gets through to people.
Yeah, real quick, that totally made me think of working in treatment. One of the things that I had to learn was, I was asked, Jared, what's the difference between you and the clients? And I was like, clean time? Like, I didn't know what answer this individual was, a clinical director, right, that I was having supervision done under. And she said, possibly the biggest one that I'm looking for is you have keys and they don't. Like, your staff, you have a certain level of responsibility, and basically you have to act in a way that is what's best and what's going to keep you safe and the client.
Yeah.
Like, you have to think for them until they can get to a place where they're thinking and behaving in a way that is conducive.
Yeah.
And I think modeling a lot of those boundaries, whether they're emotional, personal, physical, that's a big part of what we do.
I think it's critical. Like, someone else's patient's emotional crisis does not have to be your emergency.
Right.
Right.
Particularly if it's 2 a.m. and you're off duty and you're sleeping, and someone else's emotional crisis is not your emergency. And if you let anyone else's emotional crisis become your emergency, you won't sleep very often.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to take care of yourself. And if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of them.
I mean, you'll burn
100.
out,
Yeah.
right? And you don't want to do that.
Yep.
So
That was a hard thing to learn, right? When in recovery, is basically I have to put me first. Like, we've been putting ourselves first for so long, but in all these selfish and
sick ways.
Yeah. So to really understand, like, putting myself first and setting healthy boundaries with myself, it was mind blowing. You know, I had no concept of it whatsoever. And it takes time. It's slowly but surely you practice things, you work through things, and you get better at it.
It's that same concept of, and you've all heard this, and everyone that's listening has heard it, but when you're in a plane and it loses pressure, the oxygen mask comes down, you put yours on first, and then you put it on someone else.
Yeah.
Because if you put it on someone else and then you pass out,
You're no good.
Yep, you're done. You're done. And if you put yours on first, maybe you save 10 other people. Maybe you save 5 other people. I don't know. But you always take care of yourself first. And the life preserver, same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never
It's
throw a
great
life
analogy.
preserver to someone while you're drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to secure your own safety first, and then you can help others.
You got any questions you want to throw at these?
No.
Okay.
My name's Tyson Dixon. I'm in long-term recovery from drugs and alcohol. I went through Renaissance Ranch as a client in 2008. I was scared to walk into treatment, but I knew things had to change. I found hope, and I feel like I was part of a brotherhood. The staff at the ranch did a great job creating an environment for healing. I first heard that if we're not having fun in recovery, we're doing it wrong. I was so inspired with the professionals and the treatment community and industry going through the ranch. After I came through the ranch, I went to school, got my degree in counseling and psychology. Years later, ended up purchasing Renaissance Ranch with my family. In 2017, we took over the ranch, and we have since grown it to 14 different locations today, helping around 1,000 people or more. My main intention with my role in the ranch is to make sure people get the same high quality of care, love, and support that I got. If anyone is struggling or needs help, reach out. We got you.
Well, I got nothing. Oh, I have a question. It's so unrelated. It's unbelievable.
Okay. Go.
I want to know the names of ShayLynn's kids.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
and their ages.
yeah, so I have Hunter, he's 12.
Hunter's 12. He's in 6th grade.
Yeah, 6th grade.
So
He's gonna,
is that junior high?
oh my gosh, no, next year he's in
that's
junior
still
high.
grade school?
And
Okay.
I'm like, whoa, you know,
Yeah.
I'm so scared. We like go to back to school night, you know, and I'm just like, you're a baby.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can't go to this
yeah.
school?
What happened to my
Look
baby?
at these big kids. But it's cool. Hunter's really important to me because he, you know, I've learned with him, you know, that's
Sure.
cool. It's cool with
Sure.
him. And like he gets it. He knows all about, you know, substance abuse and all the things. And I think that's great. And I teach all my kids about that. I don't know why I went on to that, but it's kind of cool.
No, I think it's awesome.
I think it's so awesome. I want my kids to all understand where their mom came from and where I am and how I got here and what I do every single day. I think that's cool.
Let me caution you on that real
Yeah.
quick. Just don't ever think that your mistakes will save your children, because your children will make their own mistakes.
Yeah.
And I taught all my kids about substance abuse, and I have 2 out of my 3 kids that suffered from it, one who died,
Oh.
frankly. And I thought, why would they do that after their dad showed them the worst example ever?
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I think that's good
Okay.
to know.
second
right?
kid.
Yeah, and then I got Izzy. She's 9. She's in 3rd grade. She's a little spitfire of her mom for sure.
You got what you deserve.
I know, gosh. And then I got Elena, who's 7. She's in 1st grade, and then I got Bentley, who's 2.
Cutest little thing ever.
Bentley's going to be rich. Just that name.
Gosh, I feel like
Right,
he is.
right.
You know, he will
My kid will be rich someday.
for sure. But yeah, I mean, and all my kids have ADHD. Like, I'm not kidding. They all have ADHD. I got ADHD, severe, so bad, you know, and it's kind of cool because I feel I like think sometimes because I'm like, it's a lot in one room or a lot in one car, you know? And I'm just like, I feel really grateful that I get to be their mom. Like I
That's
get to, you know, some days I'm just like, I'm going to lock myself in my room and you guys deal out with your own stuff, you know? But like, I feel really blessed to be able to have all my kids and go through all the struggles that we do. And we come out really strong. So that's cool.
awesome.
Makes me feel good.
Jared, you got 7s in pouches in. How you feeling over there?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
good.
chilling.
Just checking.
Mhm.
All right. You got any questions?
Yeah, working in treatment, sometimes, you know, we have to find this balance between working our own program and showing up as professionals for clients. Has there been a time where you've been triggered working in treatment? how do you find that balance? What does your program look like outside of work? Like your own program of recovery?
Yeah. So I honestly believe that everybody's recovery is going to look different, right? In the beginning, you kind of create this recipe of what works for you. And anytime you're in a scuffle, you get triggered, you pull out the recipe and you go to what works. For me personally, and like I said, everybody's different. Everybody's welcome to their own take on recovery. I actually do an online meeting, an AA meeting, and it's based out of Hawaii.
Oh, cool.
And for me, I go there because there's always a positive message. There's people who know me, who I'm accountable to, who are there to just lift me up. And, and for me also, I rely heavily, heavily, heavily on prayer. I say my prayers every single day. Do I know what I'm praying to? No, but that's okay. I'm still developing what my higher power is, and I might not know entirely what it will be. It's an ever growing thing. But yeah, to your point, I think working in recovery and having your own recovery simultaneously is extremely important. You can't rely on
tough to
somebody
balance
else's.
sometimes, right? And you can't have work be your recovery.
Right. Exactly.
I
Yep.
would say the critical point there too is not, you don't have to know every detail about your higher power. You have to know it ain't you.
Correct.
Mm.
And if you're willing to pray to whatever it is that is or isn't up there or down there, wherever it is, if you're willing to do that, you've acknowledged, I'm not it. I'm not the higher power.
What was so freeing about that though was I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not in control of everything. I don't have to worry about you crossing the street. I don't have to worry about what that piece of mail says. It's out of my hands right now. The only thing I have control over is right now in this moment. Other than that, it's out of my hands.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hit each of them with the weirdest question I can come up with. Okay. And it's a spur of the moment thing. So if you can't answer it right off the bat, that's totally fine. What's the weirdest excuse you've ever heard for not making it to detox?
Oh my gosh, the
Can you
weirdest.
think of anything off the top of your head?
Oh, the weirdest.
Or what is a weird excuse you've ever heard for not making it to detox? Because I'm guessing you've heard a bunch. Now, me just asking you that right now, and
I
you
know
have
that's
to come up
hard.
with something.
That's
the
so
hard part,
hard. I
for
don't
sure.
know. I mean,
Anything?
Well,
come to
she's
mind?
thinking a common one that I hear a lot is pets, kids.
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh,
know?
yeah, pets.
My first thought was my cat's sick. I can't come in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That- I mean, I wouldn't say that's a weird one. I'm thinking like I want
It's
to
a
get
little weird. That's a
juicy
little
weird.
weird, though.
I want to get weird.
Yeah, he said weird, and I just thought of like most common.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah, but
people.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
But that is weird.
Like I know people. Like I unfortunately have some friends who have been on this podcast and shared their story of recovery, who have relapsed and gone back out. And when I call and do a 12 step on them, the excuse is, "What am I going to do with my kids?"
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure.
see that's
the-
crazy to me.
That's the
Or
thing.
the other one is the
Mhm.
job. Like I can't just quit my job.
Right.
I think the job one is a big one. I really do. It's just like, well, I have to get back to work.
Yeah.
I gotta go to work, and I'm like,
Yeah, you've missed 70% of the last month, but yeah, you.
yeah, I'm like, for sure, you need to, and then I get some that are like, well, I need to be on meetings while I'm in detox, and I'm like, you don't want
Yeah.
to be on a meeting.
And unfortunately, it's usually going to take them
that's
losing that
hard.
job to make
I was
themselves
just gonna
available.
say.
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's usually DCFS stepping in.
Mhm.
With the kids, and those situations, are tragic. And I don't know. I'm not a mom. I don't have kids. I don't know what that's like. And so I try to empathize and think, but at the same time, when I try to get creative and say, what about option A? What about option B? What about option C? And everything's just an automatic no, no, no. It's not about the kids. Just like that little YouTube clip, it's not about the nail,
Yeah, it's not about the
I think I could say something on that. Like when I went into treatment, right, at Aqua, all I could say was, I can't be here. I need to be there for my son. I can't be here. I need to be there for my son. Like it wasn't about my son. It was about that I wanted to go and get
Nope.
high. That's what I wanted.
Mhm.
We had a lady come into Aqua
Yeah.
who will remain nameless for sure, but she came in, and the first day she was there, I gotta go check on my dogs. I know something's wrong with my dogs.
Yeah.
She was drunk long before she made it to the dogs.
Yeah.
Like the dogs were just the excuse to go drink, and she didn't even know that. I don't think she realized that. I think she honestly thought she was going to take care of her dogs, but she
Yeah.
was drunk long before she got to the dogs.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Our addiction is so sneaky, right? Like, it takes us out before we can, not before we can realize it, but sometimes if we don't stop and pause and really see where these thoughts are coming from, it will sneak right back in. We just got to be on our game all the time.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So to that point, if you have, let's kind of your guys' experience and a Diamond Detox question. Let's say you guys, there's a family member out there that's listening to this podcast. They have a loved one who they're really wanting to get into treatment, get some help. Like, what would be your advice for them to start that process with that?
Just to give us a call. Give us a call and let us just talk with you and figure out what's best. Because we don't, we can just talk it through. Nobody knows what's right and what's wrong. But the way that I look at it is I always want to have a conversation with someone, because not all treatments are tailored to that one individual, right?
Correct.
There's tons of different treatment facilities that offer so many things that's kind of where my job comes into play, is that I got this brain full of all this information where when you're talking to me, I'm listening and, taking it all in. And I'm like, wow, I think this would be a really good fit for you. What are your thoughts? Do you want, and then we just go through the process, get them into detox. We help them, we give them advice. We see how we can help. And
the cool thing about, again, I don't want this to be a, hour and a half infomercial about Diamond Detox, but the cool thing about Diamond Detox is they're a neutral party, right? So for people who don't understand the treatment industry, the treatment world is, let's say you go to treatment center A and they have all levels of care. If you go to their detox, they're going to want you to do their treatment center tailored protocol.
Mhm.
Where Diamond Detox, there isn't a residential, an outpatient, and a virtual IOP or in-person IOP. So you have individuals like Shay, you have other individuals, our buddy Troy.
yeah, he's fantastic. Love him.
I feel like it starts with our admissions, like that core of like, let's get you somewhere. And it literally trickles down to every hand that meets that client. It's fantastic how much everybody's trying to get them to the support that they need.
For sure. And just to finish my thought, like they know all the players and all the organizations.
Mhm.
And so if there's an individual who genuinely, maybe it is a job, maybe they have a career, right?
Mhm.
If it is an individual with different circumstances, they can say, okay, well, let's look into this facility because I know they provide X, Y, and Z. Or, hey, let's do this one because they're a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I-
Just giving them options.
I would say, to your point, if you're coming into detox, be aware if the detox already has a program picked out for you before they've ever met you.
Yeah.
You really
Well
want to
said.
be aware of that, because everyone has different needs and wants, and certain programs do things really well and other programs do those things poorly but do other things well.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, we can all have as human beings, we can all have our favorite residential treatment centers, but not everyone needs to go to those treatment centers. Some
Right.
people won't fit well there.
Right.
And I think too, part of finding out that person, like Shay's saying, finding out about that person, knowing what their story is, knowing what their circumstances are, knowing what their commitments are, maybe they do have a treatment center in mind
Mhm.
because they're checking those boxes as they get to know you, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
not everybody, to your point, Doc, honestly, I'm a big fan of, I work in treatment, big fan of treatment. I feel like it helps a lot of people. It's the best chance possible of achieving long-term recovery. However, I do know individuals who have gone to just detox and then done a fellowship program.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like they literally
Sure.
just needed to get
Lots
over
of
the
people
physical part.
get clean and sober through AA.
Yeah.
It works for a lot of people.
It really
but most
does.
of them need that break from the
Mhm.
physical part first, right? So
Right.
they need
No
a
question.
detox.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
A safe medical
Well,
detox.
And if you got a client coming in who has had previous exposure to, say, 12-step programs, and has an aversion to that, maybe not sending them to a 12-step based residential treatment center maybe that's not the best thing for them, to send them to one of those places.
Yeah.
And for other people, it might be perfect. Like you and I both feel. I don't know how you guys feel, but I know Jared and I both feel, and I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. There's different avenues.
Mhm.
They can all work for different people. they don't all work for everyone.
Yep.
There's not a single place on the planet that works for everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, I use the ripple effect. Seriously, like that is like my main, like that's my main source. Like it's the biggest deal for me, you know, and it works. And I don't do the 12 steps every single day, and that's okay because that's just not what I choose to do every day,
Yeah.
right? But going to meetings and doing these little things and using that ripple effect is like a big, big deal for me. So, I mean, it's just to pay attention,
I love
to
that.
be
I'm going to do a
present.
group this week on the ripple effect.
It's
Yeah.
I am.
I think Mark Pepper is the one that did that, if I remember correctly, and I was not nice in that group, and I threw the biggest fit. And I remember, maybe it wasn't
Did
him,
you
I don't
create the
remember,
ripple?
but he gave me the rock, whoever it was, and he's like, "Will you just throw the damn rock in the pond?" And I'm like, "Whatever." And I like threw it, and he told me, he goes, "Look back, like what is it doing?"
Still
And I was
moving.
like, "Well, it's rippling, like it's moving. What?" You know? And he was like, and then he taught me what it is, and I just was like, "Whoa." Like it's such a big deal. It's so simple. It's like if I show up to a meeting at work and I have a bad attitude, it's probably going to start my day really
Mhm.
crappy, you know?
Or the people, you know, the energy we're
So-
putting out, it affects the people around us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I hear that there's some rumors of maybe some, Roy, Kaysville. Help me understand what's going on at Diamond Detox, what's on the horizon. I hear about some expansion stuff.
Yeah.
Kelsey, do you want
Yeah,
to,
sure.
from your knowledge?
Absolutely. It's a super exciting time for us. Currently, we have a 10-bed facility in Roy. And here shortly, I would say the goal is around April 1st. Somewhere at that time, we're moving over to a bigger and more beautiful facility in Kaysville. It will have about 16 to 18 beds. And yeah, so we'll get there soon. And then also in the meantime, there is goals of keeping Roy up and running, but maybe doing it with a different population.
we're going to try and open up the Medicaid population because it's really needed, and we
Yeah.
want to be able to help that part, you know? A lot of those people, they need our help, and so we're here to help them.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be awesome. Like we're going to be able to help, all types of people and with all types of insurances, so there's not that cap on it
Right.
because
That's
it's not
awesome.
fair.
No, it's true.
It's
Everybody needs help.
Those
right?
people,
It's not-
people deserve it too.
But-
It's like these people deserve
Yeah.
Absolutely.
exactly what we
Right.
deserve.
Maybe
Yeah.
more so than others. even.
Exactly. So it'll be cool. I'm like super stoked about it. I'm super stoked to be able to help that population because that's where I came from.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
If it wasn't
Yes.
for Medicaid, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
And so I'm really grateful that I get to be able to give back with Diamond Detox. It's going to be pretty cool.
Right. Because, yeah, how do you put a price on it's somebody's worth of getting
Right.
getting
No,
help?
No question.
Yep.
That's amazing. One of the things that makes me a little bit biased towards Diamond Detox is I feel like since I started working in treatment, I've worked for a lot of different facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm not trying to be cute or cheesy or anything. Getting to know ownership has been like vital, I would say, within the last several years. A year ago today, I was let go from an organization that I loved dearly, right? And so for me, it's been a top priority. And I will say, Jordan Birmingham, I love that dude.
Absolutely.
Like that's a guy
Good
who
heart.
genuinely cares about human beings.
Mhm.
He says it a lot. I see his posts. I love you, Jordan. Some of them can be a little cheesy if you don't really know Jordan because it can come off like kind of fake, right? But if you truly know Jordan, he really does love people. And I can see him being like, okay, if we do the Kaysville property, that's going to help pay the bills. But we also can do something with this Roy property to help a population that's underserved,
Yep.
and so just a big shout out to the Burning Man, Birmingham.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan is great.
Yeah.
Love Jordan. And I can talk on that,
He's
right?
a goofball, though, right?
He's
we all
so
agree with
great.
that?
That's so great. The best part about Jordan is that we vibe, right? Because I'm so weird. He's weird. And I'm like, gosh, this is perfect. This is perfect. I don't feel like uncomfortable, like being weird or saying something weird in a meeting. But Jordan does care. He cares about each and every one of his employees, the people, patients, everything. And I can say that because I am a single mom of 4 children, and working a full-time job is hard.
Yeah.
And that is so hard. And Jordan allows me to be a mom, and he allows me to do what I love to do. And he knows that my kids will always come first. And to find a boss that understands that
Yeah.
is like 1 in a million. So I'm like super grateful to work for someone like that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think really Jordan embraces the people helping people, right?
Yep.
Like Shay was saying, we're not just employees. Like he genuinely cares about like what we're doing in life, how we're doing. And if there's a way for him to be able to step in and help, even if it's not in like the work fashion, he'll show up for you. He'll be there for you. It's amazing.
I appreciate you guys being willing to come all the way
Yeah.
down to St. George. Thank you so much
Love
for
you.
coming on.
Oh, thank you guys. Love you.
Thanks for coming on.